So with most heeled squat shoes coming in at around $200, are they worth the money? Find out in this Q&A. Hey everyone, Solomon here from Wynn, where the goal of the channel is to help you get a little bit stronger every single day. Thanks for clicking on another 5-minute Friday Q&A video series where I attempt to answer your questions in under 5 minutes. If you would like your own question answered, please leave a comment below or send me a message on Instagram. So today's question is really addressing, should you buy some heeled squat shoes? Obviously you can squat in any type of shoe you would like, but specifically we'll be talking about a squat shoe mainly because it does have this elevated heel. So it's starting off pretty much with no lift there. And this one has, I think, a 3/4 inch lift at the back. So let's start that timer. So it becomes pretty clear if you're performing any sort of Olympic weightlifting movements, you probably should invest in a good pair of Olympic weightlifting shoes just because that's their sole purpose. But if you're a powerlifter, a Strongman competitor, a Crossfitter, or even just a general strength athlete, the question becomes a little bit more fuzzy. I won't be answering the question of if you should use squat shoes, because if you followed my channel for any amount of time, you know that my answer would just be, yes, you can use them if you want, don't use them if you don't want to. It's as simple as that. The argument that they're not natural and they're gonna be a crutch, I think is null and void, because we're lifting arbitrarily sized plates with a perfectly cylindrical barbell inside of a climate controlled building. If you want to build natural functional strength, then go train outside naked and you'll get your natural strength that way. Otherwise, use whatever tools you have at your disposal. My go-to squat shoe are the Nike Romaleo 3s, which I'll leave a link for down below. I'll also leave a link for the Adidas and the Reebok shoes. All three are great options, and I think it comes down to personal preference as to which one you should buy for yourself. To date, there haven't been that many papers that have looked into the effects of using a heeled squat shoe. The first paper I found compared running shoes to Olympic weightlifting shoes, and it found the Olympic weightlifting shoes to be slightly better, mainly because it helped maintain more upright torso angle, something the paper found to be a good thing. The second paper compared barefoot to Olympic weightlifting shoes and found you to be able to maintain a more horizontal back angle, which that paper found to be a better thing. So not really conclusive and not really helpful in terms of the research out there that's available. So again, I'll mainly be looking at the cost benefit analysis of if you should buy a squat shoe, because that's where I think the problem lies, because the value proposition is very different to a regular shoe. Coming in at around $200, it's a very steep price to pay for a shoe that you can really only perform 3 main movements in: Olympic weightlifting, squatting, and overhead pressing. Other than that, you can't really use them for anything good outside of those 3 movement segments. I mean, walking around in them isn't that comfortable because of the way they're constructed. So even walking isn't a good thing to do in these shoes. If they were $100, I would say go for it. If they were $50, I would say definitely get a pair, and that would be fine. This really wouldn't be that big of an issue. But with that steep price point, I think it's going to come down to a lot of personal factors that you'll have to ask yourself if you should buy them. First one being ankle mobility, because it does elevate that heel. It does help people that do have ankle mobility issues if it's affecting their squat. The test you should do is squat in your regular shoes, but put your heels on either a 5-pound plate or a 2x4 or a piece of wood just to elevate that heel, and that'll emulate having that squat shoe. If you find that that does help, then definitely look down the avenue of buying a pair of heeled squat shoes, or continue to squat on that elevated heel addition you've got there, and that's going to be fine. You're going to achieve the same thing. But if you don't have ankle mobility issues, is it still worth the money? I don't think you should rule them out just because you don't have any ankle mobility issues. I don't. I can squat quite well barefoot, but I do personally prefer to use the squat shoes when I squat any type of squat, front squat, box squat, back squat, SS yoga squats, even pretty much any squat variant I enjoy. I prefer squatting in the heeled squat shoe, and that's just because I feel more connected to the ground when I have that heeled squat shoe in. And that just comes down to the fact that the base of the shoe has a bigger footprint than your actual footprint. So you have more surface area connecting your body to the ground, which adds to that stable base and something a bit more firm to press off of when you do initiate that squat. The other reason I like the squat shoe is your ability to lean into the heels a little bit more. So this helps with the squat. When the weight gets heavy, you can kind of alter your range of alter your movement to add in a bit more hip drive by leaning back into that squat a little bit more and not losing balance. The biggest factor is for the overhead press, where you can actually shift a significant amount of weight to your heels while still maintaining that balance, just because of the way the weights play with your center of gravity. So I think it's a great shoe to have for the overhead press. Definitely prefer pressing in that rather than any other type of shoe. Finally, the Olympic shoes don't really lend themselves to anything else, as I said before, especially high impact movements. So I wouldn't be performing any box jumps or anything like that. There's no cushioning in the squat shoe, and that's by design. Some squat shoes even have wood for their heels, so you pretty much no impact absorption whatsoever, and that's not their design. So that's what really narrows down what you can do with them. No cardio, no running, no anything like that. Really just using. Almost had it, just a couple more points and we'll be done here. If you look at the base of the shoe, it's pretty much hard plastic, and there is no cushioning whatsoever. They have a soft insole, which is nothing like a running shoe. Even a pair of Converse Chuck Taylors have more cushioning than a squat shoe does. So to answer your question, I don't think the squat shoe should be the first shoe in your gym bag. If you already own a good pair of cross trainers, Nike Metcons, Reebok CrossFit Nanos, things like that, and you're looking for another shoe that you specifically want to squat or perform Olympic weightlifting movements in, then that's the time that you should be looking at buying a squat shoe. But if you own a pair of regular running shoes and you want to go do some strength training in the gym, definitely look at getting a more well-rounded shoe, like a CrossFit style shoe, a Metcon style shoe, and that'll serve you. You'll get more bang for your buck if you buy a shoe like that rather than a specific heeled squat shoe like this. So I hope that answers the question. If you've gotten value out of this video, please click that like button. Also consider subscribing to the channel so you don't miss out on any future questions that I answer. This has been Selwyn from Wynn Strength, and remember to never stop learning and to never stop lifting.